Before we talk about our next skill, let me just take a second and draw a character. Listening to some big puffy headphones, nice spiky hairdo. Let's give him a cord connected to a cracked iPhone screen, and a body in both a holding position, because he's holding his phone, and a dancing position. Looking pretty good. Now, don't forget to go back and give him a horizon line. And now this guy's looking pretty good. Nice character, hanging out in a parking lot, but there's still something missing in this drawing. So let's take a second and see if we can figure out what it is. Do you see it? It's those big empty areas. When you're doing a sketch, there should never be any empty areas that are bigger than your fist. So you can give it the fist check, and if you have those areas, you need to fix them. Now, the first way to get around this problem is just to fill your page with a bunch of small subjects. Draw a small character dancing with his iPhone, draw a building in the background, to make it a Kmart. Fill the empty areas on the Kmart by adding a door. Fill the empty areas in the parking lot by adding in a light pole. This guy's having his own little dance party in the Kmart parking lot. We still have empty areas behind the light pole, so let's put a distant horizon line of a mountain. Empty areas in the sky, fill it with a plane. Empty areas in the parking lot, one out a little puddle. A little oil slick in the parking lot. And give it some cracks in the concrete. Give it a car on the side of the parking lot there. And now we've solved the problem. There are no big empty areas. But it took a good bit of work, because I'm still going in and filling in these little spots with all these tiny little subjects. So there's another way around this problem. Instead of drawing 1,000 little subjects to fill in the page, you can just draw really big. Draw a giant face, listening to those big puffy headphones. Draw the phone bigger. Now you can really see the cracks on the phone screen. Draw a nice large body. And then your main subject itself takes up the entirety of the page. And you don't have to worry about creating this whole world around your subject. This is really the best way to do it, especially if the background is not a super important part of your drawing. If your main focus is this guy listening to his headphones, go ahead and draw him gigantic and let him fill the page. So the second way to get around the problem of big empty areas in your drawing is to just draw really big. But we can take the idea of drawing big and amp it up another notch by drawing so big that things are cropped off the side of the page. You can see the hairdo is so big that the top of it goes off the page. And the face is even bigger in this one. I'm going to crop off the bottom corner of this phone. When you draw things really big, you'll find that they're going to want to hang off the sides of the page, and that's fine. Don't let your things touch the side of the page. Let them go all the way and be partially cut off. I'm going to cut that hand partially off and that arm. Notice we're not even seeing any of the lower body. We're just seeing the upper body. You can really see the phone and the detail in the phone and the face now. Now when I draw this cord, I'm going to let it fill up that empty area in the top right corner, go off the page, back on, and connect to the phone, and there you have it. Notice the cropping of the hand, the hair, the cord. Now that's a cool image. And there are no fist-sized empty areas. For your challenge, start by drawing something that we normally draw very small, but draw it large. A foot, a shoe. Nice giant shoe. This is an up-close view of a shoe. And we're filling the page with the shoe because we drew it so big. Give your shoe some style. Nike check, some laces, some tread on the bottom. Now go ahead and crop the leg, let part of it hang off the page. We don't need to see the whole body. We just want to see a nice up close view of the shoe. And then below the shoe, put something that they're about to step on. I'm going to draw a poor little caterpillar. with a spiky tail. Now, even though this is a caterpillar, and we normally think of those as a small animal, I'm going to draw it large so that I'm filling my page. The horizon line back there. Now, there are still a few empty areas of the page, so I'm going to go in and fill those with other relatively large subjects. Another little caterpillar, his friend hanging out over there. I see a fist-sized empty area on the right side, so I'm going to fill that. Give this caterpillar a little different style here. A spiky head, a Bart Simpson head, some spiky legs. Looking good there. And I'm still noticing a couple empty areas up in the back, so I'm going to give it a sidewalk to kind of take up some more of that room. A couple little blades of grass to fill it in. Let's give it one more little critter. Why not? Hanging out on the other side of the sidewalk. He's all alone, but at least he's not going to get stepped on. And there you go. The page is completely filled. And we have used cropping with the top of the foot and the caterpillars on the sides. So go ahead and give that a go and see if you can fill your page. For our final sketch tip, let's start by drawing a house. Nice little house. Little second-story loft up there. Couple little windows. Let's put a tree over here to fill that empty area up over there. Got to put that horizon line above and behind those subjects. Give it some leaves. Little driveway. Now this house has all the basics, but it's missing something. It's not really doing it for me. What this scene is missing is details. Let's talk about details, because they're different from a subject. A subject is a tree, a person, a building. A detail are little things that you draw onto the tree, like leaves, little branches, bark, apples. They make the tree more interesting. They also may give you a sense of feeling, like that something could be rough or soft or hairy. Let's give the guy some hair, some freckles. Details for clothing could be jewelry like a necklace, buttons on a shirt, shoelaces. For a building, it could be windows, a little smokestack, doorknob, little cracks in the concrete. Now we have subjects with details. All good sketches need to be chock full of details. Take, for example, this drawing. Decent drawing, but no details. Now let's check it out with details. Much better. So don't be afraid to jam-pack your drawings full of sesame seeds, wrinkles, all kinds of stuff. All right, so let's go back into this drawing and see if we can amp it up with some details. First, I'm going to start with some bricks on the side of this building. This little house. I'm going to make some horizontal hash marks and then some vertical hash marks to give a quick brick facade look here. Then I'm going to go into the roof and give it some shingles. Those kind of curvy, Italian-looking style shingles. Let's go back and give the windows a frame, the door frame, and some kind of decorative square carvings on the door. Now, one of the biggest areas that you'll run into for details is a field. This big empty field, and just throw in some grass details. Grass details are just little marks with your pencil. They can be little V's or just little hashes. They give the field a sense of a grassy look. You can throw subjects down, like I could throw down another subject right there to fill this in and give it little details like the spokes and the tires, the tread of the tires to help fill that in. A couple little flower details in the yard. Some more grass. Grass can be time consuming, but it will make your drawing look so good if you fill those fields up with grass. Some cobblestones in the driveway. And be creative with how you use your pencil as you make details. Details may be little hash marks, maybe little circles, they may be little curly cues. For water, it's kind of just little floaty lines with your pencil, almost like the tip of your pencil floated down that river. Let's give some kind of scribbly, cracky marks in the bark for bark detail. There's a bush, it needs detail, let's give it some berries. Filling in the grass detail behind the bush. Coming up into the tree and giving some curly cues and loop-de-loops to make a leaf detail. I see a couple little empty areas up in the sky, so we're going to go in and fill those in with some raindrop details below the cloud. Little puffy cloud details on the cloud. Searching for empty areas. Let's go back in and layer another detail on top of those bricks, a little vine. I'm looking in those windows and seeing empty areas there. Let's put a little dude hanging out inside his house, looking out at us. Now this drawing hits all of our sketchbook skills. I drew the entire time. There are characters but no stick figures. There are overlapping subjects but no X-ray vision. The horizon line is above and behind the house and the tree. There are no empty areas, and I filled it up with details. Alright, so have at it and draw a house scene with a ton of details.